The next thing we'll take a look at in completion tracking tutorials is basically how a faculty member goes in and sets up the completion tracking controls depending on the type of activity they're doing. Now, some activities really don't lend themselves to this, but as I said, since students use this as sort of a checklist for themselves, another option you have for completion tracking is you'll go in, you'll say, I'll allow the student to basically check it and say that it is done themselves. The instance I'll demonstrate, I'll go to something where the third-party product is being used here, and I'm not going to be able to have the machine know that that has actually been done, but I do want to give them the option to have this little grayed out circle here. The grayed out circle, of course, will say students can manually mark this item complete, which is a little help in case you don't recall that when you're doing this. So I'll show you the settings for that real fast. Of course, I'm going to have to just go to settings and then go down to completion tracking. So here we go, and the activity completion is there. And by default, it says do not indicate activity completion, but I'm just going to go down to the next one here, which says students can manually mark the activity as complete. And then, of course, as always, you'll have to come over here and click Save and Return to the course. So what that will do on the student side is this. Harold goes to the course, and he's just started this course, and he comes down and he sees the Flipgrid piece. He can click into it, and that would take him to the Flipgrid interaction, but he also just can click this, and that will remind him that it has been done. So that's fairly simple and obvious. Let's say the next one was a little bit different. Now we have one where Harold has a video drop down. This is the introduction to this particular chapter. So it's important to me that students are clicking this and seeing it. Now, we don't know they saw the whole thing, but clearly if they click that, then they'll see that, and I'll show you what it looks like on the student side first. So Harold clicks this. He doesn't even have to start the video for it to know that it's been triggered, and Harold sees that it's green there. And on the instructor side, what one had to do is go to activity completion, and then instead of clicking students can manually mark it, we just go activity complete when conditions are met, and what the condition is, student has to view this activity to complete it. So once they click into it, then it'll turn that way. Now, expected completed on is just so it shows up that it's done or when it's expected on the student side. It doesn't close the activity. Just know this is just for the student view. It doesn't close it out. If you use this and say, oh, but if it's not done by the 20th, they can't do it. That actually isn't how this functions.